have been working on mocking an Android and iOS app, Futbin. For that, I am creating individual components. Once all the individual components are being developed, I will be integrating them in the single app. For that, today I will be teaching you how to switch between widgets. You can see what we will be mocking. So, when I go to a player detail screen, I can see here when I click on graphs widget is displayed. When I click on stats widget is displayed. When I click on info, some info of the player is being displayed, and we can switch back. So similarly, we will be mocking it in Flutter. Let's see what you will be able to achieve at the end of this video. So I have similar type of structure. I have graphs, stats and info. When I click on stats, a fade-in effect is given and the widget is switched from graph to stats. Similarly, from stats to info and info to graph. So this is the output you will be achieving at the end of this video tutorial. Okay, I have created it here. So I am deleting from my already existing code, and we will be creating a fresh new file. Widget which demo. So starting with a stateless widget first. Widget. Let me see what is the name that we need. We need widget switch demo. Okay. Widget switch demo extends. For here we need a build method. Okay. We will have a material app here. That will have body home as scaffold. Nice app bar. Sorry. With title same as this. This has to be wrapped in the text widget. Yeah. And our body will be a body widget. This we will create here in this class itself, body widget. Because why I am creating a different body widget here? Because since this will require a stateful widget, and we don't want to build our whole scaffold again and again when we switch into the switch between the widgets. So that's why keeping the portion in stateful only that portion which can be which whose state will be changed. So let's create the body widget now, and this will be stateful widget. For this, sorry, we need create state. Since it's a single line, it will be a single line method, so we can remove the braces and just write here body widget state. This class we have to create. Let's create that. Now we need a build method, and a body of the widget will go here. So let me put a container first of all here, a simple container with a height of 300 and color as colors dot red. Okay, let me run it. What we will be doing here will be, we will create a column to create the layout like the shown in the emulator. We will create a column which will have two elements, a row of 3 buttons and a container which will be shown below the 3 buttons. So as you can see, we can see the red button directly here, red container here, but we don't need this thing right now. So we will create a row which will have children. First will be the flat button with child as a text showing graph. And it will have a on press button that is required. We will keep it empty as of now. Then similarly we can add 2 more buttons. Okay, the text will be stats and the third button text will be info. Okay, now let's see what happens. So you can see 3 buttons, they are tappable. Okay, but they are stacked towards left side. So what we will be doing, we will be giving some main axis alignment that will be space between, and let's see what happens. Yeah, so the space has come in between the buttons now. In this row we have added 3 buttons, but we need a container below these 3 buttons which will be called as a parent container here. So we will put row in the a column. First child will be the row and second child will be a container. With height 200 and color as red. Now you can see a red bar here, red container here. Now what we need to do, once we click on each of the button, it will be changing the view. Our container will be switched. So for that we need to update the state in on pressed. We need to take 3 containers here which will switch when we click on stats or info. So for that let me take a enum first, which will hold which will actually have 3 entries. Let's name it as widget marker and just put it 3 names: graph, stats and info. You will understand what I have done here in few moments. Now let's take a variable which will hold the value of selected widget marker. It will be initially assigned with graph because whenever we land into the details screen, graph is being shown. We have defined a selected widget marker variable which is holding widget marker.graph. On pressing the button of graph, this value will change to widget marker.graph, and on pressing of stats, it will change to stats, and on pressing of info, it will change to info. Okay, fine. Now, what we need to do is we have to create a child for this container, which will be a random, or we can say which will actually a different child will be there every time when graph stats or info are clicked. So for that we will create a method get custom container. That's it. Now we will create this method, and this will return a widget get custom container and a return statement. Okay, as of now, right, none. Now let's create three different widgets, for one for graph, other for stats, and the third one for info. Widget get graph container. This will return a container with we will take a different color for everything. Red, simple RGB colors we will take, and height also we will distinguish. So this will return a graph container having a height 200 and colors as colors.red. Second, we will create a stats container, height 300, green, and a info container. $400 and blue. Yeah. So as you can see, we are having now three different containers. So on the basis of what is the value of selected container, selected widget marker, we will take a switch case and return a different container every time. Widget marker.graph. And by default we need graph container. This method is pretty simple. It is a simple switch case on the value of which we decide which container will be child of this parent container. And now we don't need this. Okay, so let's format it. Now we are missing one thing here. We need to call set state when we press a button. So we are doing it here. Now let's run from fresh. we have a similar structure, similar layout, but now when we click on stats, a green container is shown as part of stats container here with 300 height. And when we click on info, we are getting an info container with color blue and height 400. We are almost done with this, but when we click on stats, we are not aware of which button is selected right now. So let's do it. We will highlight graph when the graph is selected. We will highlight stats when the stats is selected. For that, we need to change the style of this text on the basis of which widget marker is the is selected right now. So let's do it. Add a style, text style, and color as. So this is the default color. Let's as you can see, all are faded. Now the graph should be selected when we click on graph, right? So for that, we can add a condition here. If selected widget marker equals to widget marker dot graph, then the color will be black, not the with 12 but the normal black. Otherwise it will be black 12. Okay, so this condition will change for everything, so we have to write again and again. For every button the condition is different, but the colors are same. Okay, third one. Okay, let's see the difference. See, graph is a little bit darker. When we click on stats, stats is darker. We click on info, info is darker. Now something is missing from here. Some animations here. Whenever a view is attached to this parent container, it will come with some fade in effect. Okay, for that, let's take a animation controller and a animation variable. Let's initialize them in the init state. So controller will be initialized like this. We need a single ticker single ticker provider state mixing of body widget. Okay, now we can write this here, it will work. And we need a duration of the animation which will be taking place. Duration we will take as 500 milliseconds. Okay, now defining the animation here, the tween animation that will begin with 0. So this is a tween variable and we animate it using the controller. So we have defined the controller and the animation. Now where to apply? It's very simple here. Each of the child container, graph container, stats container and the info container will come in with a fade in transition. Okay, so we wrap the container, child container, with a new widget that is fade transition, which will which have opacity as the parameter. So we change the opacity. This will take the animation value 8. Now similarly we have to do with all the remaining two containers, so that every container comes in with a fade in effect. Now first the animation will happen, and after that the widget will be rendered, right? So for that we should put a future builder here. Okay, instead of container we will have a future builder, which will have future as the animation. Okay, now what will this animation have? This is very simple. Let's create a method play animation, and controller will move forward. Basically it will move from 0 to 1 in the time span of 5 millis 5 500 milliseconds. Okay, after that what it will render? It will render whatever we put in the builder parameter. Okay, so it takes a build context and the async snapshot. We have to return a widget here, and that widget will be simple. So this is the way our static content will be replaced with the dynamic content with the animations. Okay, okay. One thing we have forgot to dispose, I think, the controller. We must dispose the controller when not in use. Okay, now I think it will work. Let me check. Okay, let's see what happens. So we have added a fade transition. We have given the opacity to work with the animation that will go from 0 to 1 in 500 milliseconds, and then the container will be built. Now I have run the code, but the animation was so quick that it could not reflect. So let's run it again with a duration of 5000 milliseconds, that is 5 seconds. Flutter hot restart, and now you can see the animation, right? Let's reduce to 2, run it. Now you can see the animation. Let's check. When we click on stats, the animation is gone. Why? Why so? A simple reason would be, since our controller has all moved in forward, so now it's already having a value of 1. Okay, so it has to be reset every time when animation starts from 0. Let's check. The graph is having animation like as before. Stats is also having, and same with info and reverse. or any order. I think everything is done here right now. So you can change the duration and you can run it. Now you can see it's quick, it's fast. So guys, what we have done today is we have taken a simple screen widget switch demo which has a body widget. That is a stateful widget, okay, and the state is body widget state. We have in terms of layout, we have a column having a row and a feature builder which contains a random container. Okay, this container will get the value based on any of the button pressed, right? But this we have handled by taking a enum which contains three values: graph, stats, and info. So on the basis of whether the graph is selected, we display graph container. When states is selected, we display stats container. And when the info is selected, we display info container with some animation. Okay, what I did async here, it's working fine. Why? Because future builder's quality is that this future will complete its work and then builder will render the widget. Okay, so we don't need async and await here. So guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button. I believe you got a fair idea of how things can be achieved in Flutter. I still think there can be a better way to achieve the output. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it and any another better way how we can achieve the things. Okay, subscribe the channel, and in the description below you can find my Medium links and the website link. So wait for the second video. Till then, it's goodbye from here. Thank you.